Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, and as you can see, I've moved in from outside, partially because it's so very hot, but secondly, and more importantly, there's people doing pool aerobics, and for that they needed to turn the music up, because apparently you can't do it quietly, and it was just far too loud to make a video. So I've stepped upstairs. I'm probably going to do a couple at once here while I'm here, made the effort to come up. But it's just the way it is. Anyway, we have this wonderful Keir Starmer moment where you can tell the guy really is a first-class idiot. It's one of the few things where he is a world leader when it comes to absolute stupidity and for making a rod with which to beat your own back. Starmer is pledging to remove all of the Thatcher-era union laws, which made it difficult to strike, where you had to, ballot members, or as we like to call it, democracy. You couldn't just have union leaders calling out a strike. They had to ensure that the union members were in agreement. Seems reasonable to me. But he wants that removed. He wants just union leaders having the right to call strikes. He wants all of these things removed. He's looking to introduce again the right for flying pickets, that sort of thing. This is a man who is determined, in his words, to increase the growth in this country. And to do so, he's making strikes easier. He's making union action easier. All the exact things that you need to ensure that people will not invest in this country. Think about this. If you're an industrialist looking to open, say, a new factory, would you do it in a country where strikes are easy or where strikes are hard? Are you going to risk your investment, your capital, and your productivity in a country like Britain, where some militant unionist leader can have your companies striking at the drop of a hat? The tea was at the wrong temperature, everybody out, that sort of thing. This was the bane of the 70s, and Starmer wants to go back 50 years to bring it back. What is absolutely wrong with this man? Apart from the fact that he is a sheer and utter Marxist. He hates the idea of companies doing well, of making profits. He hates the idea of anyone getting better. He hates the idea of people having aspirations, I suppose. How dare you aspire to better things? Know your place and stay there. Seems to be the Starmer Mantra. But he's going to introduce what basically are a backward step in union rights and in productivity and growth in this country. It's a weird step to take. He's been promising all this. He's been kissing the arse of the unions because he's desperate for their money. Of course, the thing is, once the unions get a taste for power, they will hold the Labour Party to account. They will ensure that the Labour Party bends the knee. There is no there is no Prime Minister anymore. The Prime Minister will merely be the lickspittle to the unions, who will now run the show. It's the biggest, in what he calls the biggest expansion of workers' rights in a generation. One of the things workers like is a job. And by doing this, he will ensure that workers won't have jobs, because companies now are increasingly international and they will just close down Britain and go and build somewhere like Mexico, Paraguay, Romania, somewhere where workers' rights aren't seen as so important. And this is what's going to happen. One only has to think of Dyson moving all his productivity to, I think it was Vietnam, was it? Somewhere like that. Certainly out in the Far East, where it was cheaper and workers' rights weren't a thing. It is time that we called this man out for what he is. Destructive, a threat to our nation, a threat to stability, and certainly a threat to the nation's wealth. And once you have a nation with poverty in it, then health follows, education, everything sinks to the lowest common denominator. True, unfettered Marxism. And that's what he's pushing. Well done, Keir Starmer, you absolute dipstick. Thanks very much. Bye.